Hey there guys, Great here. Time to do another reaction video. Not a Damash one this time, time to branch out and do a few others, and a few people have recommended this Steelheart cover by... how's his name pronounced? Forgive me. I don't like pronouncing names if I'm sure I'm gonna fuck them up, so there it is, you know, it's on the screen, you know it. Yeah, a Steelheart cover. I'm a big fan. You've always been a fan of 80s rock music, especially the high screamier stuff, and it doesn't come much higher and screamier than Steelheart. So yeah, let's see what this cover's like. Should be good. It's a weird feeling with the low camera quality video, you know, because it makes it feel like this is from, I don't know, early YouTube days, you know? Back when for the first time those Canon rock guitar covers were coming about, you know? Feel old. Maybe I am. Smoking. Ooh, internet singers everywhere will be up in arms. Be fair, smoking's a tricky one with singing, because, you know, it's definitely not good for your voice. But personally, I'm of the stance that there's other things that are probably going to wreck your voice as you get older. But yeah, smoking's definitely not good for it. If you're in any question about it, any at all, it's not good for it. Don't do it. But I'm sure this guy is probably going to nail this song, seeing as everyone's recommended it so highly, so probably pretty clear it doesn't absolutely destroy your voice like some people say it does either. Tricky one. I'll shut up now.
She's gone out of my life. I was wrong. I'm to blame. I was so untrue. I can't live without love. In my life, there's just an empty space. All my dreams are lost. I'm wasting away.
Okay, so yeah, interesting. It's definitely very good. But there's a few things I'm picking up on. The big one is obviously the accent, because, you know, it's originally in English, so I'm not judging for that, but yeah, it definitely affects his vowel choices on certain words. It makes it sound a bit, not funny, but a bit strange to listen to in places, because it affects his tone. And he does have a nice voice. He has a really nice tone there, you know, it's sort of sharper than the original, but it works. It works in this context really well. I do like it, so yeah. Yeah, so far so good. Again, not absolutely stellar as a performance, I would say, but damn good. I'm quite impressed. It does sound good. You know, his musicality's pretty decent, but let's see how it goes from here. We're getting the interesting parts now. Alright, right there. Interesting. I've no doubt, I can hear from the tone there, he's probably going to hit the high notes pretty well, but it's going to be a bit of effort for him, because you hear, if you listen back, I'll show you what I mean. He's not right on the note. He's not bang on the note he's getting. It's not forgive me. He's going forgive me. He's dragging up, which is, you know, I have a similar problem, to be fair. It's why I'm aware of it enough to point it out, because to a lot of people it's not a big deal, but it highlights an imbalance in the voice, which I'm guessing his high range is really good, his low range is pretty good, and the middle notes are going to risk sounding a bit strange at times. He's probably going to nail most of it, but it'll be up for debate whether you think it sounds particularly good in those middle notes, you know, between the G to high C region. You know, up top, I've no doubt he's going to nail it, though. Let's have a look. Because, yeah, that bit where you're sliding up to notes, he's muscling through it as opposed to landing on them cleanly and efficiently. So, yeah, just pointing that out again. Doesn't make him a bad singer. Just the technique could be more efficient. Yeah, jump there. Yeah, no problem with the high notes whatsoever. None whatsoever. He's got the range. Very similar to myself in that way, you know, I can hit the notes, but navigating the middle area is tricky, because my voice is imbalanced. And it affects my musicality a lot in that range. But if you listen again, it causes him to jump. Not bad. Little blip between that B note and the high D. You know, little blip as you go over, because when you go over that high C sort of territory, you really got to drop any sort of remaining trace of chest voice weight and get more into a falsetto kind of feel. It's not falsetto, but you lean more and more that way the higher up you go, and that sums it up very well listening to it. You hear that little blip in the voice. Again, not a big deal, doesn't ruin a performance as such, but If you're a singer and you're working on your technique, look out for those things in your own singing. Yeah, little jump. I'm good there. Yeah, bit of a push. Yeah, tricky. Okay, yeah, very good. I would say definitely very good, better than most, no question. But that imbalance in the voice is showing up there. He's having to use more distortion than you might deliberately choose to. I get the feeling some of it's unintentional because it covers up the gaps in the voice very easily. Again, I'm a prime example. I'm fine, high C and above, much like this young man, but you need to use distortion to cover it. If the balance isn't quite there to be able to get clean notes to vibrate nicely, distortion covers up those blips and cracks very easily in the voice. You know, and yeah, I can hear it in him. Again, it's good. It's a good musical sound, quite appropriate for what he's doing as well, especially on some of those broader vowels, but you can hear it on the narrow vowels like oo and e. He leans more towards falsetto than he might, you know, have otherwise chosen to. I'll play the chorus again. Where are we? Yeah. And I'll point it out as I go. Yeah, how bright and wide that note is. It's very bright. You know, I kind of tried to say both at once, but yeah, it's a very bright sort of sound, which again, if your technique's more efficient, the vowel would probably be a bit purer. Again, it's all up to taste as well to a fair degree, because this is the tricky bit. A lot of people pick apart technique as if it replaces musicality, and it doesn't. You know, he's an excellent singer, sounds really good, but for me personally, I like to pick apart the technique because I'm always looking to work on my own. And I like to point it out for anyone else that might be interested in it, because yeah, to most people that sounds like a brilliant performance. It's just, yeah, a few little bits. Again, mainly it's a case of if your chest voice is inefficient, because he's clearly got the strength in the higher register for the notes, but if the lower range is inefficient, you'll try to drag that up all the way up and it doesn't work, it causes issues. And again, I'll point them out as we go. Very falsetto there on the narrower vowels. It's hard to stay in a fuller gear in those narrow vowels because it shuts down your ability to drag the chest voice up. It really does. It shuts it down hard, and if you're not particularly good at it, you'll crack and you'll break in and out of it as you go, but he still sounds really good. But yeah, it's an issue. Distortion kicking on with the brighter vowels, you know, again, I'm a prime example of that, no questions about it, but be aware of it, because this stuff can work musically, but if it's limiting you, work on it, work on it. Again, an E vowel, or a slightly narrower vowel, he's struggling to maintain that full quality as he goes through it. Still sounds good. Want to be very clear on that, but yeah, it's interesting to hear it. Little flat there, very little. Again, minor stuff. I'm being nitpicky, very nitpicky. And we're back to this.
She's gone out of my life. Oh, she's gone. I find it so hard to go on.
Nice voice. He does have a nice voice.
I really miss that girl, my love. Come back into my arms. I'm so alone. I'm begging you. I'm down on my knees.
So again, you can hear the inefficiency with the technique causing slight blips with the performing aspect of it. You know, it's affecting it. He doesn't sound as stellar in his lower range as he kind of does in his higher range. you know? Still good, but definitely not quite as on par as, you know, when he's nailing the high notes, because he's got the range, he's got all the power and the ability to do that. But yeah, be aware of these kinds of things with your own singing. Because yeah, it can cause limits.
Forgive me,
Big lip. He's having to muscle through it a bit. Not struggling massively, but it's a bit of a battle. Will sound good here. Alright, not quite as good as I was expecting. Pretty good, he got the note, but it was, yeah, again, those inefficiencies are showing themselves up. Because as you, I know it myself from personal experience, as you battle your way through a song, it'll affect the clarity and all of that stuff up top when you finally do get around to that point. It's tricky. It's really tricky with that kind of thing. It'll sound good here, though. Nailed it. Flat, yeah. You could hear the distortion really kick on to fill the void where it's not quite vibrating cleanly. There's a bit of a battle going on between the registers, if you get what I mean. And especially on that F note, I'll point it out, hold on. That one. Yeah, it covers that little crack that can occur. Sounds good. He does have a good voice, really good. But yeah, you could hear he didn't sustain the note quite as long as you might imagine. Could have just been, you know, one of those things when you're performing. Not every time is going to be perfect. It's not necessarily a technique issue either. But yeah, I'll explain it a little bit more when I stop. Yeah. So yeah, very good, you know. I know I sound like I'm being very critical. It's because I've spent so long analyzing my own voice and trying to get that to work, so I'm always hyper attentive with the details of that kind of thing. Because I mainly do these videos to, you know, learn to sing better myself, so it's interesting for me to point stuff out. I'm not being critical, I'm not saying it wasn't good. It was definitely good, but it could be stellar. And the reason I think it's not as stellar as, you know, you might hope for is, yeah, those technique issues I'm hearing there. He's inefficient with the way he's using his voice, you know. And again, it's good to point it out because it's still a really good performance. Technique is not the be-all end-all with singing, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's still really good. The stuff I'm pointing out can definitely be described as being nitpicky or just overly critical. And I'm not. I'm pointing it out so that, you know, I'm aware of it, I can work on it and improve, and other people that are watching can as well. So yeah, you can really hear with his voice how it's compensating for the fact that it's inefficient. It's making him have to push harder and try a bit harder than he otherwise might have to, and yeah, it's causing the notes that he is good at, the really high ones, to suffer a bit for it. Like fine, it was a little pitchy here and there, you know, tone was a bit here and there, but still, very good performance, and I really enjoyed watching it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the other one I've seen recommended, I'll Never Let You Go, because that's got some more mid-range stuff to it, and that will really show up those problems, I've no doubt. Again though, great performance. Really enjoyed watching it. Thank you for recommending it, people, and I hope you've enjoyed my reaction. And again, please don't think I'm being overly critical just to be a dick about it. I'm not. I'm really not. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you in the next video. Take care till next time. Bye.